Hey y'all, thank you so much for watching Miss Angelique TV, where we talk about everything. And when I mean everything, I mean like finally I'm back. I know. Without further ado, I'm back. I'm better. I'm great. If you want to know what the fuck is going on and why I be telling y'all that my story times are like literally still being written, and like anytime I tell y'all that, it means like shit is still going on that I have to add in the story time series whenever I get to that point. So we're getting there, but we still 3 years behind. So just stay tuned, and I just want to thank all of my new subscribers. I haven't forgotten about y'all. Thank y'all so much. Even though I ain't been fucking with this YouTube shit lately, y'all been fucking with me, and I really appreciate it. So y'all, if I can remember clearly, because it's been a while, last story time I left was explaining to y'all how my mom like suddenly came to Houston. I didn't know why, I didn't really understand why. In the end, I told y'all that my mom had made a post of her driving towards me, and I posted that clip, or that screenshot of that post of her tagging me in the picture on Instagram. It was a picture of just the Houston highway, on whatever highway she was on, and she said she was on her way to me. At this time, it's about 5 o'clock in the morning. I had just happened to have been up, and Freddie, which was the person I was with at the time, he was up too, or whatever. And I had saw that picture on my phone, and I had told him about it. I had showed him. I'm like, what the fuck is she like? Why is she tagging me in pictures, saying that she on her way? Like, mind y'all, me and her had just got into altercation. And wait, bitch, hold on. Let me explain something to y'all real quick. My last video, I got a couple of comments saying it doesn't matter what my mom have done to me or to me, I would never disrespect her, da da da. I got a couple of those comments, and girl, that's good for you. I'm so happy that you feel like you're in a place where it doesn't matter what your mom or your dad or any family member does to you, rather that person is toxic to you or not, that you just won't like at some point lose it. I wish I had that mind frame, but unfortunately I didn't. Do I regret it? No, I don't. And a lot of the stuff that y'all still don't know, y'all are gonna understand towards down the line. So just don't be too quick to judge. If you have anyone who's toxic in your life, rather they're your mom, your dad, your husband, your girlfriend, your wife, your anybody, best friend, anybody, it doesn't matter. Toxic person is a toxic person. And any human being, if a human being is picked at more than one time, more than 2 times, more than 50 times, bitch, for the course of 10 years, at some point that person might reach their breaking point. Now, not everybody might reach that breaking point. Everybody has their own limits. But me, I can only tell y'all my story. Bitch, I reached my breaking point. That story time last time when I was telling y'all how I went off on my mom, like I've never done that. That was my first time ever doing that in my life to my mom. It didn't feel good to me, but I felt like something had to be done. At this point, I felt like it was just an adult talking to an adult, because my mom was talking to me like I was an adult, like I wasn't her daughter. So I returned the favor. Hey, was it the right thing to do? Probably not. But don't provoke your kids, and kids don't provoke your parents. So yeah, y'all, I showed Freddie the picture, and something told me, like, get up, bitch. Like, go see if she outside. Something told me to get up. So me and Freddie, we got up and put on our shoes, and we had the intentions on walking outside, like looking in the parking lot, seeing if we could see my mom's car, or, you know, any weird stuff, make sure she didn't put my tires on flat. Like, I don't know, anything was possible for my mom at this point. I didn't know what she was capable of, but I just needed to be sure. As Freddie goes to pull the door open, the first thing I see is my mother standing right in front of the door, like outside of the door, with a bunch of baby clothes in her hand. She almost scared the shit out of me, to be completely honest, because I wasn't expecting her to stand there. How long she was standing there, I don't know. She didn't knock, she didn't make a noise, she didn't do any of that prior to us opening the door, you know. And you know, we have to put on our clothes, put on our shoes or whatever, so it kind of took us probably a good minute or so. We locked eyes, bitch, and I immediately say, what are you doing here? Why are you here? I didn't ask for you to be here. Like, what's going on? And like, I honestly, I immediately had attitude because it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, so I'm already irritated because of that. And number two, she posting on, you know, Instagram, all of this stuff, so I'm already irritated because of that as well. And so the fact that she's coming here at the house, it was just like beyond me. She was just like, just take these clothes, you know. And I told her I didn't want the clothes. I told her I don't want it, like, you can keep it. She ended up giving us the clothes anyway. Well, putting the clothes in Freddie's hands, and he took them or whatever. And I told her to leave after that. And so I was like, okay, can you leave now? And she just stood there, like, paused for a second and looked at me like with the fucking death stare, because I didn't curse her out or anything like that. I was just like, can you please leave? Like, I really was like, okay, can you please leave? Like, I just wanted her to leave, and which I had the right to. It's my house, you know. But after I said that, that's when shit went into shambles. I'm not gonna get into the detail of the fight simply because I've already made a story time about this fight before. So if you want to hear the details of the fight, like exactly who hit who first, all that shit, you could go to that story time. But I'm not going to discuss it in this one because I feel like it's irrelevant. I don't want to discuss it again or relive it again if I've already talked about it. Long story short, she bites my finger, which I'll go ahead and insert clips of or pictures of, like the actual photos. She bit my finger, and in the midst of it, as she eventually leaves my apartment, Freddie was on the phone with the cops at the time already because he ended up calling them while we were in the midst of doing what we was doing. She eventually got up and walked out, and I guess, you know, she knew who we were on the phone with, and I was following her because I wanted to know what car she was in, who she was with, if she was with anyone. The officer told me to stop following her. I eventually stopped. And I turned around, and they were like, they were gonna bring the paramedics and police officer out or whatever. As soon as I went into the house, I got a text message from my mom saying this, and I'll go ahead and put that clip in. I'm not looking at the message right now, so I don't want to quote it because I don't feel like pulling it up, but y'all see what it says. Basically, she was just saying like she didn't have a fight since 6th grade and kind of like boasting about it. The paramedics arrived before the cops came. Like, the paramedics came like buku fast, and I wasn't even hurt. Like, I didn't need stitches or anything. The cut was pretty deep, but it wasn't deep to where I needed stitches. But they just gave me my band-aid, wrapped it up, cleaned it up, whatever, and I was good to go. So they left, and then eventually this old ass man ended up coming. He didn't act like he gave a fuck. He wrote down a report, asked for her name and stuff, and where she was, and an address on her, which she didn't have because she was on foot. She was homeless basically at this point. I don't have no information other than her phone number, sir. That's it. He writes the report and, you know, just gives me information on like the family violence unit and if I want to file a restraining order and this and that. And y'all, that day was the first day I actually considered putting a restraining order on my mom. And I actually went to the place that day. I ended up calling in. I emailed my job and told them maybe I'll find that email and post it right there just because. I don't think I went to work for the next 2 days after that. But as soon as the cops left and everything, I went downtown to the family court, I don't know, family something, and that's basically where you go. You could like file domestic violence claims or restraining orders is what I'm trying to say. And it was like a walk-in type basis, and so I hate going downtown. I hate it. I didn't want her to like be away from her grandkids or not be able to talk to them anymore, but I didn't know what else to do at this point. I just felt like I needed to protect my family, and so that's why I went there. And so it was a pretty long process. They had a lot of people there. You go in, it's a bunch of people sitting down in a small ass room. They give you a clipboard, you fill out what it's about, who you're filing it against, why, their name, whatever, their information, your information, all of that, any police reports if you have it, any pictures, any evidence, screenshots, texts, voicemails, all of that, you know. So the lady finally called me, and so they assign you to a social worker or a caseworker, whatever you want to call it. And so they take you to the office and ask you questions, basically interview you, ask you what's going on, why you feel like you want to place a restraining order on that person, da 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 da. I had enough evidence to place a restraining order against my mom at that time, but because my mom didn't have a physical address, because my mom didn't have anywhere where they could legally serve her, they needed a physical address to do that. My mom didn't have that. So that right there was a bummer to me, because I'm like, damn, I didn't know that like they really need an address. Like, you know, you can't just say, oh, this person is harassing me. Pretty much it was a waste of time, because I didn't end up get anything done besides a bunch of paperwork telling you what to do. The person came back, what to do if you find out their address, and what not to do, all of that. So waste of time. After that happened, I ended up calling Rough Rider. Just, I don't know why I called Rough Rider, but I was just like, you know what, it's Rough Rider's fault, let me just call her. I don't know, no, it's not her fault, but I just wanted to call her to see where her head at, you know, how my mom, like what was going on between her and my mom, like was she talking to her, did she know that she came to my house, like what like did anyone know, because it was totally unexpected. And so I called her and I told her what happened, and she pretended like she gave a fuck. And I say pretended because of y'all will see later why. Yeah, she pretended like she gave a fuck, y'all, and she was like, yeah, you know, your mom, she got some stuff going on, I don't know what's wrong with her, and this and that, just same old, right? But I had another phone call with my dad's mom, with my dad's sister, which is my aunt. She was just trying to see what was going on, because, you know, my mom had been rambling on and on about certain stuff, posting screenshots of certain conversations, talking shit about me and stuff like that to other people. And also my mom had posted a picture, and I don't know if I still have this picture or not, but hopefully I do, and I'll find it and I'll post it. But after the whole fight, my mom had posted on Instagram a picture of a Smoothie King cup, and it captioned, underneath the caption, it was like, had a great workout with such and such, which was my Instagram name. My aunt asked me about it, and she was like, oh, I thought y'all was okay, because, you know, I saw your mom said that, you know, y'all had a workout. She thinking it's really a fucking workout. No, bitch, we had a whole fucking fight. It was a whole fight, a whole, like, yeah, that. And she was like really shocked, you know, kind of hurt at the fact that my mom acted like this, because the same mom that I knew growing up was the same mom everybody else knew. Like the same wholesome Christian church on, you know, just a wonderful, sweet lady, patient, kind, all of that. But whenever I explained all of this to her, it's like, that didn't even sound like my mom. Like she just kept saying like, that doesn't even sound like your mom. Like what? I just can't believe it. Neither could I. After the fight, my mom immediately left Houston and fled back to Louisiana. And which I of course found this out as time went on, and also on social media, because my other family members still had her on social media at the time and could see that she was like with random strangers in like random ass parts of Louisiana, like Lafayette, Louisiana, and stuff like that. But come to find out, my mom's car broke down. I think the engine blew out or something like that. She needed an oil change, and she just hadn't did it, and so it just blew out. All of the driving that she had been doing, going back and forth to Houston from Louisiana, just all of this type of traveling in this car that she had, which was like a 2002 Toyota Camry, and so, you know, it had some miles on it, and so it gave out on her. And so she ended up meeting this couple who offered my mom somewhere to stay. She would always find random strangers to live with, and it's like, my mom is such a sweet person that around this time she had a good way of like making people feel sorry for her. Kind of, she would put on this front like, oh, my whole family abandoned me, I don't have no family, I'm by myself out here, you know, I really appreciate y'all help, y'all the only people that I know who has helped me, and y'all are strangers. And for me, like, that was the type of mindset she had. If she was talking to you, pretty much she would come off as a sweet lady who has family who don't give a fuck about her, and it would make you feel very sorry for her, because you're like, wow, this lady is so sweet, and she's telling me all of these awful stories about her daughter and about her mom and her sister, and you know, I want to help her. She always had a place to stay, even if she had to scam her way into a hotel room, which she did eventually do. We're gonna get to that later though. It got back to us that my mom ended up getting arrested again, because if y'all don't know, and I think I said this before, but I don't know if I did, so I'm gonna just say it again in case I didn't. Mom didn't report back to her probation officer. She was on probation. She still had stuff to take care of and all of this, which she didn't do. And so obviously, you know, if you don't follow up with your PO officer and stuff, then at some point you're gonna have a warrant and, you know, all of that. And so she had warrants for all of that, and they, you know, it eventually caught up to her, and so she served her time. Now, she didn't serve as much time, like this isn't the longest she served, but she was in jail at this time from April, the end of April, all the way until October at this point. So at this point, this was, you know, it went from my mom being in jail for a day or two, went from my mom being in jail for a month, now my mom being in jail, you know, for a whole, that is April, May, June, July, August, September, October. This is like almost 6 months now. She used to always write me like letters. She knew my address by heart. And so although I didn't respond or write her back at this point, I still would read them and stuff. And sometimes the letters would be of her apologizing. Sometimes the letters would be of her justifying her behavior. It was a lot of back and forth. I'll remind you, at this time we knew something was wrong with my mom, but we really didn't know what it was, or we didn't know, you know, because it's like she'll be great, like to the outside world, she's a sweet person, intelligent, smart, nothing's wrong with her, but to us, we know something's wrong with her. And that's another reason why it was so difficult to get her help, which I'll explain that later on throughout the story time, later down the line, where we've tried to get her help multiple times, but it was hard because of this act she would put on. It's like she would turn this act on whenever other people are around, to make it seem like we're the crazy ones, to make it seem like we think she's crazy, and she's really, I mean, she's not crazy. I don't want to say she's crazy, but that's what she would say though. Those are the words that would come out of her mouth, literally. Oh, y'all think my family think I'm crazy and this and that, when I'm not crazy, I'm just speaking up for myself. So fast forward to July of 2016. This is whenever I turned 21, and if y'all don't know, I vlogged my whole 21st birthday. 2 or 3 days before I turned 21, I ended my relationship with Freddie of 4 years. I couldn't do it anymore. We ended it. I was depressed. I was really depressed. Around that time, my mom was still in jail, and I still hadn't talked to her since the whole fight ordeal or whatever. However, my grandma did at some point end up speaking to her. Not only would my mom write me letters in jail, but she would also write my grandma and my aunt letters as well. So my grandma eventually communicated with her, like wrote her back, and at some point they were speaking. As time went by, my grandma would talk to me and, you know, tell me, oh yeah, I talked to your mom, she's doing good, she seemed like she's getting better. At some point she was just like, you know, are you gonna ever talk to your mom, like what's going on? She just wanted to know where my head was, and I told her, I was like, yeah. At this time I was like, yeah, like we're gonna talk one day, just I don't feel like right now is the best time. Like I don't know when I'll be ready, but like I'm not ready. Not only would she write me, but she would also call me from jail as well. Like she knew a number by heart, obviously. I wouldn't answer though. But on my birthday, July 11, 2016, I got a phone call from my mom from jail, and I was at work actually. I was working, and my mom called me, and I answered. I don't know why I answered. I just answered. I don't know. She cried whenever I answered. She was really happy to hear my voice, and she told me happy birthday, and I was happy to hear her voice too. I wasn't even thinking about like the fight or the disrespect, you know, the hurt, the pain. Like I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about, oh, get my mom back, like finally, like y'all know my dad, he's not alive, like that's my only parent, you know. So I was willing to look past all of that. That's my mom, like fuck it. So we talked, girl. So from that day on, my mom would call me and talk to the kids as well, and you know, I sent her pictures of the babies and stuff while she was in jail, and Also, this is around the time where not only was I depressed, mom didn't know Freddie and I had broken up, by the way. No one knew in my family until later down the line. But whenever my mom did find out that Freddie and I was broken up, she was kind of worried, because she's like, oh wow, like my baby, she's living by herself now. You know, at this time she knew Freddie and I were living together and stuff, by the way, because y'all know I had hid it from my mom in the beginning, but at this time she had already knew about it, obviously. But she was kind of worried, and I was like, Mom, I'm alright. Like, that's why I didn't want to tell y'all. Like, and that's how I am. Like, I don't like to tell my family. Well, back then, well, it's still kind of the same way, but now it's more of a, like, it's not y'all business type of thing. But back then, I wouldn't share certain things with my family because I didn't want them to worry about me, because I was young. I was the only young, independent person really in my family. Like, I got older people in my family who's not as near as independent as I am. You know, I've been independent since I was 17. I've been out on my own since I was 17. Like, I left and never even moved back with my mom, like, ever again. It's kind of tough for mom. She was still kind of like accepting the fact that I was grown, you know, even though I was 21, but she was still accepting it. And so after I told her I was all right, she was okay with it. And I eventually met Ghost. And if you're new to my channel, you may not know, but I was in an abusive relationship with a guy named Ghost. Obviously, that's not his real name, but there's a reason why I call him Ghost. And yeah. But I was in an abusive relationship. Obviously, at this time, the relationship wasn't abusive. The time in my life that he came in, I was really vulnerable. I was lonely. I was depressed. I wasn't really eating, because me being in a relationship with Freddie at that time, that was the longest relationship that I've ever been in. I got with him when I was 17, and so now I'm 21. I'm like, I don't even fucking know how to live no more. Damn near, that's how it felt. So I was totally distracted and caught off guard when Ghost came into my life. So he seemed perfect. Like, he knew what to say. He knew that I was vulnerable. He knew that I hated being alone. He knew that. So it's like he took advantage kind of well, bitch, he did. He took advantage of that, and he was always at the house, like, you know, just always there. And me looking back at it, like, ain't no man should be at your house that much. Like, whenever y'all first get together, like, it's a problem. Like, I need some space. But at the time, I allowed him to always be around me. I hated being alone. Like, I know y'all probably thinking, oh, you got kids and stuff. I did have kids, but you know, we grown, right? Any grown woman, a grown man knows that your child cannot complete that same fulfillment that your husband or wife can, you know? So whatever. Fast forward to September of 2016. Ghost and I make it official. I wasn't really too open with him about my mom at the time. Like, he would only know certain things, what was going on with mom, just by me, like, talking about it to other people or something like that. But he wasn't really, like, too familiar. Like, all he knew was that my mom was in jail and she was in New Orleans. Like, that's it. My grandma and I were trying to make plans to see what my mom was gonna do, or the type of life she was gonna have whenever she got out of jail, because we knew that she was gonna be getting out soon, which was that following month, which is in October. And so I was living by myself, y'all, at the time, and I was also getting ready to move into a 2-bedroom apartment, because I was in a 1-bedroom at this time, and I wanted to expand. You know, I had 2 kids. I want a bigger, you know, place for me and my babies. So I was supposed to move, I believe, on my mom's birthday, if not a couple days out. I don't know. It was really, like, because my mom got out like a day before her birthday, and so basically me and my grandma, we made arrangements for my mom to catch the bus to Houston so that, you know, she could help me move. And eventually the plan was for her to go down back to Louisiana to get her probation and stuff taken care of. She was only going to help me move because she knew I was by myself. But that's before we get to that part. Prior to her getting out, you know, me and my mom had been talking on the phone and stuff, and my grandma wanted to me and my grandma was trying to figure out where my mom would go, or who would pick my mom up from jail, because the way that the jail is, and she was in Jefferson Parish, which is in Monroeville, Louisiana, it's like really ducked off, and so if you get out of jail, like you have to go down like a long road. My grandma was like calling around other people, trying to see if they could come pick her up. No one really was fucking with it because they knew like the history of my mom. They kind of like already knew what was going on. Nobody really wanted to mess with it, which is understandable. I understand it, I get it. My grandma said, you know what, call Rough Rider, see if she could help. You know, your mama had some stuff at her house, which she did. She had left some things there. She had some of her clothes anyway, so she knew she was gonna need after she got out of jail. So she was like, why not, you know, call her? So I called her. Why? I don't know, because you know the last conversation that I had with her didn't really go well, but I called her because my grandma told me. And I asked her, I was like, you know, my mom getting ready to get out of jail, and we need her to be picked up and dropped off at the bus stop, you know, at the bus station rather, because we're gonna get her a bus to Houston and this and that. And she was like, well, I'm gonna be working at night, I'm gonna be on call, but as long as, you know, I'm not busy, you know, I'll be able to do it. So she made like she'll be able to do it, but it made like she was busy still at the same time. So it kind of felt like she was doing it. So it kind of made me feel like she felt like she was doing us a favor in a way, when really, bitch, no, the fuck, my mama been doing you favors for all these years. Like, let's be clear. That kind of like irritated me. So I didn't really put my faith in her that she was actually gonna pick my mom up. But I figured, okay, she told me that she would, so she's not gonna like not do it, right? Girl, my mama got out of jail, and we were supposed to, you know, when my mama didn't have no phone or anything, so she was gonna call us from somebody's phone. And if Rough Rider was gonna be the one to pick her up, obviously she was gonna call us from her phone. The time comes for mom to be released, and you know, whenever they release you, they just release you. Like, you don't have a phone to tell nobody like, oh, I'm about to be released in 5 minutes. Like, you don't have that. Whenever you out, you out. They're not gonna tell you, you just out, bitch. The process could be long, the process could be fast, bitch. The process could be some days, like, who knows. Some time went by, and I knew she was out, you know, because she hadn't called us or anything. But we didn't have any way to reach her, so I ended up calling Rough Rider to see if maybe she had picked her up or whatever, because we told her at the time that mama would have been out and where to go, and she said that she would. Ask me if Rough Rider answered the phone. Ask me if this hoe answered the motherfucker phone. Hell nah. She didn't answer at all, and that made me so mad. And I don't know why I even put my faith in her to begin with, but I did anyway. My mistake, whatever. But she didn't answer the fucking phone, so I'm like worried. Me and my grandma were worried, trying to see where mama at. Hours passed. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning when mama was released. I eventually get a phone call from a random number, and it's my mom. Thank God. She was at a hospital at the time, using their phone, and so she said that she was okay, and she was just trying to figure out where she was gonna go. We still hadn't gotten her ticket yet. She needed somewhere to be until we got her ticket. My grandma ended up running across her cousin from, you know, her side of the family. I'm not really too familiar with the side of the family, but we are related. So, you know, when y'all know y'all got that family member that you don't really fuck with, or y'all got that side of the family that you don't really know about, but you know about them. So yeah, that side of the family. They agreed to allow my mama to stay for a couple of days. Nothing permanent, just allow my mama to stay until we were able to get her to Houston. It was a guy, which was supposedly our cousin. We're gonna call him Troy. I don't know why we're gonna call him Troy, but I'm just gonna call him Troy. Troy, he was an older guy. He was my mom's age, a little older. My mom said he was kind of flirting with her in a way, but I didn't really pay too much of attention about it or to it at that time. But he had gave her like something to sleep in, and also gave her one of the government phones that he had, so that she could be able to communicate with us, you know, on her way to Houston and stuff like that, which was really helpful, really good. I'm so glad that they were able to allow my mom to stay there for the time being, because we didn't know where she was gonna go. We didn't want her to be in the middle of the street. Then we ended up getting her the bus ticket. Once she got to Houston, on her way to Houston, let's just say, mom revealed something to me that I wasn't expecting to hear from her. Like, I wasn't expecting her to say this at all. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know why I wasn't expecting it. I should have expected it, but I don't know. I just wasn't expecting it. I don't know. But she revealed something to me that I really wasn't fucking expecting nor feeling at all, for my specific reasons, which I'll get into. But what she said and what I saw, what she sent, things that were told, was mind-blowing. So mind-blowing to the fact where, bitch, you already know we ain't gonna discuss it this story time. No. We got a lot to catch up on. We still got a long way to go. Long way to go. Like I said, my story times are still being written, y'all, to this day. Like, and also just a little hint, certain things that are taking place, like, y'all know how I be having my receipts and stuff. For certain things, I'm also gonna be vlogging certain things as well, which I've already started. I'm not gonna tell y'all what I'm vlogging, but I'm vlogging something obviously that has something to do with my story times or my series, whatever. And I hope y'all like this. It's like every single time something crazy happens, the first thing I think about is y'all. So I hope the first thing y'all think about is me whenever y'all be laying in y'all bed and y'all bored. Binge watch my story times or something, because y'all, I'm telling y'all, every single time some crazy ass shit happen, I'm like, bro, I gotta tell these mother. I love y'all so much. And so y'all know I don't leave anything out. I may take my time to tell my stories, but I don't leave nothing out, and I'm always here with the receipts and the proof. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and just shut the fuck up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, because you don't want to miss my next story time. Y'all don't want to miss what the fuck I'm gonna say next. The shocking news that I hear from my mom. Like, the shock, bitch. It's gonna have y'all on the end of y'all seats. Thank y'all so much for watching. I love y'all so much. Comment what y'all think my mama gonna say. Comment what y'all think this shocking thing is gonna be. Comment, let me know what y'all think, because I promise y'all don't know.